The following program is a production of HEW Entertainment and contains views, opinions, commentaries, and content that may offend some subscribers of this show. Listener discretion is advised.
It's that time once again for HEW Entertainment Radio.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Hosted by Jonathan Clarke.
You beat the man! You gotta beat the man! Woo!
Be sure to join us in the live chat room during the show.
Hulkamania is running wild like it's never ran before.
Call us on one of our request lines. If you live in the United States, call us at 1-641-985-7800, box number 3729288. If you're from Canada and would like to call us from 1-647-724-4194, box number 3729288. Long distance charges may apply in some areas.
I've been the world heavyweight champion 10 times.
Or you can always drop us a line at MySpace, myspace.com/HEW Entertainment.
And you will rest in peace.
Emailing us works for you too. Email us hewwrestling@hotmail.com.
I am a wrestling god. JBL.
And now, without any further ado, here is your host of HEW Entertainment Radio on the official website of HEW Entertainment, Jonathan Clarke.
The champ is here.
Streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. HEW Entertainment Radio is inviting you to comment on our video blogs, join the conversation, and like us. So what are you waiting for? Log on and listen now.
Don't miss out on any of the action. Download our app on the App Store, Google Play, and the official website of HEW Entertainment. Once you download and install it, you'll get caught up on news, YouTube videos, and more. Download it now.
Shining your eyes.
I miss the days of AJ Lee with that entrance music making me think back on the phenomenal reign she had as Divas Champion lasting over 295 days. Now AJ is gone, and now we are faced with Charlotte as the Divas Champion. It is being looked at as somewhat of a crisis in the Divas division because she is way too original, and that's why she's the focus of my video blog on my YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22, which, by the way, you guys can subscribe to and get in on the conversation about. I would really appreciate a thought on Charlotte and just how original she is. If they would keep Ric Flair out of the business of Charlotte and just leave Charlotte on her own defending that championship rather than having excuse after excuse as to why she retained a title in a title match on TV or on pay-per-view, I would appreciate Charlotte more for just being her own kind of individual. But with how she models herself after her father way too much, this has become really a crisis that deserves to be corrected and brought up in the Divas division. First off, when I first laid eyes on Charlotte, I said she was the full package. She was going to go the distance in WWE, but I quickly resented Charlotte for just how original she was. She's standing out in a group of individuals who are very diverse for a Divas division which has come a long way over the last decade, for being just way too original. When so many divas have qualities that separate them from each other, Charlotte is just someone who is just role modeling herself after Ric Flair, and she only cares about two individuals, herself, the Divas Championship, and Ric Flair, her father, of course, who she has to care about because she's obligated to. The thing is, if Charlotte was just her own kind of character and she wasn't patterning herself after Ric Flair, this wouldn't be as big of an issue to me in my mind as what it is. It's become very apparent to me that Paige said something very true in promos, referring to Charlotte as Baby Flair and nothing more, because it's true. It's very accurate. It's a very accurate assumption, hitting the nail on the head and driving it into the proverbial coffin of Charlotte's career. It is definite that we're going to see the demise of Charlotte eventually as Divas Champion. I don't think she's going to last as long as what someone like AJ Lee or Nikki Bella did as Divas Champion, especially with how we're in the fallout of Nikki Bella's neck surgery and how they're hyping up Brie Bella to have something happen for her with everything going on with Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Would really appreciate something to happen there. And I would also like to see somewhat of a challenge presented to Charlotte, because she hasn't had a challenge, nowhere near a challenge presented to her as Divas Champion. Let's see her defend that title in a triple threat match against the likes of Sasha Banks and Brie Bella and see what she does. Even if you put her in the ring against Brie Bella, who has a lot of experience over someone like Charlotte, no doubt that Charlotte has defeated so many people that have had a lot of experience over her to contribute to her push in the Divas division, but I would really appreciate something more happening in the Divas division rather than just seeing this consistent pattern of Charlotte defending the title and always coming away with the victory, either because of interference from her father or some other diva getting involved with it. I think that there could be a wave of change from what we've been seeing in the Divas division in recent weeks, moving through the Divas division and the entire WWE to eventually change the complexity of it. One diva who I'm a really big fan of is Sasha Banks. And I am really excited to see what they're going to be doing with Sasha Banks in the coming weeks. She showed up at the Royal Rumble. She attacked both Charlotte and Becky Lynch at the conclusion of Charlotte and Becky's match. So that obviously implies that Sasha is going to make her presence felt in this division, and she's going to eventually become the Divas Champion, making threats to both Becky Lynch and Charlotte to eventually come on and become the WWE Divas Champion. And I'm really excited to see what's going to be happening there. I'm also looking forward to seeing a challenge being presented to Charlotte from Sasha Banks, because they are both tremendously skilled. I have nothing against the athletic ability and the charisma of Charlotte. I just wish she just wasn't so original, because we have seen so many wrestlers and divas kind of come and go over the years that have been way too original and just haven't been themselves. I think that if they would have been themselves in the years they were involved with professional wrestling, they probably would have had more triumphant careers. Even David Flair, if he wouldn't have been so original and tried to pattern himself after his father in World Championship Wrestling, he probably would have had just as a successful career as his father. Probably not in the way of winning 16 world titles, like Charlotte is not going to win 16 Divas titles in her career. But I think that if the Flairs would have been so original, because they are the definition of original when it comes to their family's legacy. When anybody is talked about, patterning themselves after their fathers or their family's legacies, the Flairs have to be on top of the list. And I think that's what's really irritable wrestling fans, is the fact they notice
and it's very apparent that the Flairs are probably the most original characters in the wrestling business because they pride themselves on their legacy for having their father hold over 16 championships, and just the legacy that represents and really defines them goes a long way in having done it in the wrestling industry. It's not that I haven't been a fan of the Flairs before in the past, because I have been a huge fan of the Flairs because they are legends in the wrestling industry. Their names are notorious for professional wrestling. They are on the top 5 list of family legacies that are mentioned. It's either the Hogans, the Flairs, the Pipers, the Harts. They're always talked about on this huge list of names that are notorious with the wrestling business. But the thing is, they are just way too original, and it's very apparent to me that this is happening, which is why I give Paige a tremendous amount of credit for doing what she did with her promos, referring to Charlotte as Baby Flair. So obviously WWE creative are noticing that fans are obviously noticing the fact that Charlotte may be way too original, and Baby Flair may be a term that is very appropriate at this point in time, at least for now, for Charlotte. Not saying she's going to break away from Ric Flair, but let's take away the ring attire that's similar to Ric Flair's red ring attire and the multicolored ring attire that we're seeing her wear. Let's take away the woos, the Ric Flair chops, the modification of the figure 4 into the figure 8. Let's take away everything that refers us back to Ric Flair, and let's have Charlotte do something on her own, and let's see if she's just as near as successful as her own kind of character in WWE, rather than patterning herself and modeling herself after Ric Flair. I think that would definitely answer us the question if she can really go the distance. A lot of people have found time in criticizing Charlotte for a number of reasons, which I will not get into, but there are a number of reasons that have been referenced to me as a radio show host and columnist by the Everyday Wrestling Fan, and you always have these conversations with the Everyday Wrestling Fan about what your opinion is on whatever's happening in professional wrestling, what has come of professional wrestling over the last number of months. And